Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Connolly, and I'm the Executive Director of Cycling Prince Edward Island, and I will be serving as your Master of Ceremonies. I would like to welcome everybody, and good afternoon. It's been a privilege, it's going to be a privilege, and I'm going to ask MP Sean Casey. I'm going to go back. It's a privilege to welcome MP Sean Casey, Premier Wade McLaughlin, Mayor Clifford Lee, and Mayor David Dunphy to this event. I see we have a number of other guests here, and I would like to welcome everyone. Now, I would like to invite Sean Casey, Member of Parliament for Charlottetown, to speak on behalf of the federal government. MP Casey.
Thank you very much, Mike. Usually at the outset of a speech like this one, you recognize the dignitaries, you recognize the public officials in attendance. And as I look around, I would probably do better to mention the ones that aren't here. I think that all of the leaders of the three levels of government in Charlottetown and Stratford are present, without a doubt. So I'm not going to name them all, but Mr. Premier, Your Worship, Mayor Lee and Mayor Dunphy, Ministers Bigger, Gallant, Mitchell, City Councillors, MLAs, Kathleen Casey, James Aylward. How am I doing? That's pretty good. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Il me fait grand plaisir, comme d'habitude, d'être ici parmi vous et de représenter le gouvernement du Canada et le ministre d'Infrastructure, l'honorable Amarjeet Sohi, à cette annonce aujourd'hui, une annonce tellement importante pour notre communauté et les villes de Stratford et Charlottetown. Thank you for that kind introduction, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here with you and Premier McLaughlin today on behalf of the Honourable Amarjeet Sohi, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities. As many of you know, the Government of Canada has been hard at work to deliver unprecedented investments in infrastructure. We're working together with our provincial, territorial, Indigenous and municipal partners to plan and deliver infrastructure projects that will shape our country for years to come. We want to build strong foundations that allow all Canadians to thrive, excel, and innovate. We want to create growth and jobs for Islanders now and for future generations. We want to create inclusive communities where everyone, children, seniors, Indigenous Canadians, and new immigrants has access to opportunities that let them reach their full potential. To achieve these goals, the Government of Canada is investing more than $180 billion over 12 years to support public transit, green and social infrastructure, trade and transportation, and rural and northern communities. Budget 2017 is the next step in the Government of Canada's ambitious plan to make smart investments that will help grow our economy. Expanding on the historic infrastructure investments of the past year, Budget 2017 will invest in faster, more efficient public transit systems that will help get people to work on time and at the end of a long day, back home faster to their families. It will help communities become cleaner and less reliant on sources of energy that pollute the air, harm the environment, and compromise our health. It will build more cultural and recreational centers, as well as improve access to public spaces that contribute to vibrant and healthier communities. And it will make it easier for hardworking Canadians to find safe, adequate, and affordable places to live with quality and affordable childcare and better support as they age. Also a priority is ensuring that high-quality drinking water is available to everyone, and that wastewater systems are modern and effective. And that's why, on August 3rd of last year, the governments of Canada and Prince Edward Island signed a bilateral agreement for two new funding programs, the Clean Water and Wastewater Fund and the Public Transit Fund, that made more than $56 million in combined funding available for public transit, water, and wastewater projects. The Clean Water and Wastewater Fund was created to help address some of the most pressing water infrastructure needs resulting from underfunding in the past. The program will help put an end to boil water advisories and ensure that only clean water is released back into the lakes and rivers that play such an integral role in our health and recreational happiness. We've already made progress, but there's more work ahead of us. And that's why I'm happy to announce more than $9.5 million in federal support for these projects to improve wastewater treatment in Charlottetown and Stratford. Investing in green infrastructure is critical to preserving public health and supporting Canada's ongoing transition to a clean, sustainable economy. These important projects will help protect our ecosystems and contribute to the well-being of islanders for years to come. And folks, we know that this announcement and that this project is something that has been a long time coming. This is something where there's been many bumps in the road through the process, but this is absolutely positively a model for cooperation and collaboration between levels of government, where at the end of the day, all three levels of government kept their eye on what was important and did the right thing by islanders. From important local projects like the ones we're celebrating today to large-scale developments that contribute to smart growth on a national scale, we will build 21st century infrastructure that prepares our communities to meet today's unique challenges and prosper for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Casey. Now I would like to invite Prince Edward Island's Premier, Wade McLaughlin, to offer his comments.
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Mayors Dunphy and Lee, MP Sean, Ministers Bigger, Gallant, Mitchell, MLA Richard, there he is. We're in your district, Richard. MLAs Richards, Kathleen and James, councillors and staff of the Stratford and Charlottetown, members of the active living community and cyclists well represented here. Glad you're here, Mike, and others, and everyone who sees the value and the significance of the integrated project that we're announcing today. To be here with representatives from all three levels of government reaffirms the importance of intergovernmental cooperation on infrastructure projects. This morning I was in Montague outlining our government's plan to increase our population through Prince Edward Island's Population Action Plan. And as we continue to see the benefits of small but mighty, we realize that Prince Edward Island is going ahead, that it's growing, and that it's necessary to have the right infrastructure to enable our urban and rural areas to continue to grow and do well, and for our province's economy to continue to deliver prosperity for all islanders. And with the opportunity today to announce that approval is in place for a long-awaited project that will involve our largest city, our fastest-growing community, and the protection of our province's largest waterway. This is a great day. It's certainly one of the most significant infrastructure projects in this region in recent years. And in order for our communities to survive and to thrive, they must have the necessary strategic infrastructure in place to support them. And when we speak about strategic infrastructure, I want to expand on what Sean said when you realize the many projects that are underway in our province right now. The airport runway expansion, the commitment that's been made to the PEI Nova Scotia ferry, the extension and effective completion of the work that's been underway for several decades on the Trans-Canada Highway, the collector roads, not least, of course, the electrical cables, one of the biggest things we've done in a long time. And when you see all of that together and realize that it's all happening with federal, provincial, and municipal cooperation, the piece that then becomes water and wastewater, and the work that we're able to do to put in place infrastructure that will will serve islanders for generations, that will enable our communities in all parts of the province to thrive and to grow. We realize the significance of what it is to work together the way that we do here in Prince Edward Island and among all levels of government. This announcement reaffirms our government's commitment to work with all partners to encourage economic growth at the same time as we safeguard our environment. These investments will open up further development opportunities along the waterfront on both sides here and provide residents with safe, reliable infrastructure. This project will allow Stratford's wastewater system to be consolidated and integrated with Charlottetown's and will permit centralized wastewater treatment. This will enable Stratford to meet the growing demands that come from its expanding population and its growing business community. It will also help Charlottetown to accommodate this initiative and also to make improvements to the East Royalty Lagoon and strengthen existing city infrastructure. And it's really, when we put all of that together, it's a win-win for all parties involved, for all Prince Edward Islanders, to see this critical part of our province grow, be equipped for the future, and to look out for our environment. Effective wastewater treatment helps protect the health of our river and harbour system that is home to an important shell fishery. And our province values its traditional fisheries, and we're glad to have these extra protections that will come with this infrastructure and these investments. The connection of these two water systems, wastewater systems, will require the installation of a large connection pipe along the Hillsborough Bridge between Charlottetown and Stratford. And we can see right behind us what it is to have the capacity to do that. With growing populations on both sides of the bridge, it has become clear to governments at all levels that safe public infrastructure needs to be in place to accommodate also those who choose not to drive by car over the bridge. And that's why, you may have been wondering why Mike was the MC here today. That's why when steps are taken to modify the bridge to accommodate the new wastewater system, our government will be looking to add an additional active transportation lane to the bridge so that cyclists and others will be able to cross between Stratford and Charlottetown safely in a lane of their own. And I know our cycling community and our pedestrian community have been eager to see an active transportation lane installed here. We'll soon be consulting with cyclists, municipal officials, and other user groups to begin the design of this new lane, and we'll be submitting a funding application to the federal government in the coming weeks. This is another great example of the many projects where the federal government, the province, and municipalities are cooperating to build important infrastructure projects and to take advantage of the intergovernmental infrastructure projects that have been put in place by the federal government. A look at the infrastructure project list of initiatives that are underway and that are on the planning boards from tip to tip in our province will show that communities of all sizes in our province and in all parts of our province are benefiting, and notably from the water and wastewater work. When we look at the stormwater enhancements or sanitary sewer replacements, investments are being made to ensure water is handled in a way that protects resources. When we look at expanding well fields in our growing communities, we can see infrastructure investments that create the conditions for economic and population growth. What we're talking about here today is more than the installation of a pipe, but the pipe is a very big part of it. The money that we are investing today will lead to environmental protection, to public health, to economic opportunities, and to the continued growth of our population now and into the future. I want to thank the federal government and thank Minister Sowie and thank MP Sean Casey and all of our provincial MPs for being responsive to island needs and for working with the province and municipalities throughout our province. And I want to thank the City of Charlottetown and the town of Stratford for working together with the province and the federal government on a project that will allow high-level treatment of wastewater from the rapidly growing town of Stratford and protect the health and marine environment of the Hillsborough River and the harbour. I'm very pleased that we can encourage active, sustainable transportation with the proposed construction of a bicycle lane in conjunction with this project across the Hillsborough Bridge. I look forward to continuing to work with Ottawa and with Charlottetown and Stratford and communities across the island to continue to invest in strategic infrastructure for the well-being and the advancement and the growth and prosperity of all islanders. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Premier. Now I'd like to invite Mayor Clifford Lee to speak on behalf of the City of Charlottetown.
Thank you very much, Mike. MP Sean, Premier Wade, Mayor David, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, today is a great day for the City of Charlottetown. I thought we were coming today to simply talk about sewer projects, but certainly, Premier, your announcement on the active transportation path is fantastic news. It's a great initiative, and I know Councillor Bernard, who has been carrying the bicycle lane file, I should say, not because he's a cyclist, as you can tell, at City Hall, is really pleased to hear this news because it's a great opportunity to further connect and strengthen the two communities of Charlottetown and Stratford. It's a great opportunity and a great initiative. Today's announcement, obviously, as it relates particularly with the City of Charlottetown, allows us to complete the sewer system, to have the final piece of the puzzle piped into the pollution control plant on Riverside Drive. Allows us to eliminate the lagoon system in the neighborhood of East Royalty and connect. The whole system is connected. We obviously know, and as Sean indicated in his remarks, there's been a few bumps along the road getting to where we are today, with coming to an agreement with the town of Stratford to have the sewer piped across the bridge into a centralized pollution control plant. And I think today's announcement is much more significant than that simple act. I think it is a very clear indication, and hopefully 10, 20 years from now, people will look back on today and say, that's where regionalization of services really began. That's where communities in this small province of ours really came together and started to work together and cooperate with each other. And certainly, Premier, to you and your government, as Sean said, there's been bumps. I'm not sure I would have been as patient as you and your administration have been over the last number of months on this project, but I thank you for your commitment. I thank you for your dedication to this project. I want to as well recognize Councillor Rice, who has been a constant source of guidance and advice to me over a number of months on this project as to how we're going to get to today's announcement, because I think all of City Council here in Charlottetown recognize the importance of the regionalization of our sewer services between the two communities. As part of the announcement, Council did meet earlier this week in Charlottetown and agreed to the creation of a committee of council, which will include a representative from the town of Stratford, that will oversee the operation of the pollution control plant. And I could go on and on and on why this is such a great day, not only for Charlottetown and Stratford, but really for municipal government in this province. And it's great news. It's going to allow us to provide better protection to our environment, and the shellfish industry obviously is going to be a major beneficiary of this project when it's complete. And I can assure everyone that the City of Charlottetown looks forward to the opportunity to work very closely with the town of Stratford, Mayor David and his council, to ensure that this is a fantastic project, throughout the construction of it, and more importantly, when we're done constructing, for the operation. And as I said, today could be the beginning of a great thing. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. Now I'd like to invite Stratford Mayor David Dunphy to speak on behalf of his town.
Thank you, Mike. It's a great pleasure to be here today. I want to MP Sean, Premier McLaughlin, Mayor Lee. We have a few councillors here from the town of Stratford. I'm going to recognize individually. We have Councillor Ogden, we have Councillor McLean in the back, we have the Deputy Mayor Cooper, and we have Councillor McDonald, I almost missed there. Councillor Gail McDonald there. As well, we have a couple of staff members, recognizing them, CAO Robert Hughes and Jeremy Crosby, who is our Manager of Infrastructure. I'm mentioning them because it's been a lot of work to get to this point. This issue in Stratford of a long-term solution for a wastewater treatment plant has been ongoing for a number of years, 10 to 15 at least. And so today is a great day for the town of Stratford. It's been a busy week for the town of Stratford. Anytime you can say that you've had the CBC and the Guardian at 2 days in a row, I guess is a busy week. We had the roundabout announced yet last night, or I guess the public meeting last night. 70 people at a public meeting on that. And of course today we're talking a long-term solution for a wastewater treatment plant and an active transportation corridor, which again has been on the sort of on our plate for a number of years. So I'm not sure if we have any more work to do, guys, so we'll probably take the rest of the year off, but I think we're still working on a school or two there, so that's coming down the pipe. We're going to announce that in the fall. Yeah. So the Mayor Lee, of course, Mayor Lee mentioned today being the start of a regional cooperation. I'm going to kind of correct the mayor here a little bit on that one. So more than 12 years ago, we started, I think the regional cooperation has been going on for more than 12 years, but 12 years ago we partnered on the Kerry complex. The town is a funding partner of the Kerry aqua facility, and as well, probably 10-12 years ago, I guess 10 years ago anyways, the transit, regional transit was an initiative that the towns of Stratford and Cornwall are working with the city of Charlottetown that's proven to be very, very successful. So we're just continuing on the path of regional cooperation here, and every chance we have an opportunity to work with our friends at the city or with the province, we're more than happy to. So as I mentioned before, the wastewater treatment plant, the long-term solution, has been something that we're trying to solve for the last number of years, and I want to thank MP Sean and Minister Sohi and Premier McLaughlin and our good friends from the city of Charlottetown for all their help here to arrive at this day, this announcement, and we're hopeful that's going to solve a lot of problems, and we will be growing, as the Premier mentioned, and we're growing at between 3 and 5% on an annual basis population-wise, so we're going to do our part to help you achieve your population targets. And so we're going to continue on doing those kinds of things. The active transportation corridor has been the number one issue raised by our residents in terms of active transportation over the last number of years. So our residents are going to be very, very happy. I know I see Cynthia Dunsford here today. So I know she's biking all the time, and it's going to be safer to bike across that bridge right now. So I want to thank all the people from the cycling community that are here today, because it's an important an announcement in terms of making our residents healthy, more healthy. We want to promote healthy lifestyles, active living, and letting people come across that bridge. Hard to believe people want to leave Stratford and come to Charlottetown, but some people do work in Charlottetown, and but apparently the active transportation corridor goes both ways, so I think there's going to be people going to Stratford as well, not just to move to. So anyways, on behalf of the town of Stratford, I want to thank the federal and provincial governments and the city of Charlottetown for their efforts and cooperation during this process to get to this day, and we look forward to many more projects going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Dunphy. Well, as everybody knows, cycling is the new golf. I just want to congratulate everybody, the two levels of government, the two municipalities. It's a very historic day. On behalf of Cycling PEI and all cyclists on Prince Edward Island, we would like to congratulate all those parties for making this project a reality. I'd also like to speak on behalf of Cycling PEI's relationship with TIE, Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy. It's been a great relationship. We've been working with them over the past number of years on a number of initiatives. They seem to all came to fruition this year. They've been great to work with. Everybody knows we have the Share the Road legislation in. We continue to work on other legislation. As to echo Mayor Dunphy's comments, the bridge was the major issue that kept coming up in our consultations or members and people that dropped into the office. So for this to happen, that's a major coup for all the level of governments in the municipality. So again, I congratulate everybody, and I know there's going to be a whole ton load of cyclists that are going to be very excited about this. So Cycling PEI looks forward on working with TIE to continue to work with Minister Bigger. She's been great. Her department's been great. We partnered on the Bon Shot project, best trails on the island right now. And again, we want to congratulate the province on recognizing cycling as a tourist initiative or cyclo-tourism. It's a new opportunity. They have identified that, and that they are putting some dollars and some energy behind that with the creation of these new infrastructure projects, Bon Shot being one. And I know they're in with parks as well. They're putting some more money into trails. So again, for Cycling PEI and for me personally as executive director, it's been great to work with these government departments and years of hard work that just seem to all come together this year. So I want to thank you personally, and I want to thank you from cyclists and from Cycling PEI, and we're very excited. So thank you very much. So that concludes the speaking portion of today's events. The last thing, we just look forward and continue that relationship, and hopefully be able to consult a bit on the bridge design and get our nose in there and maybe help out if we can. So I think that's it for today. So I think we can all agree that there is a spirit of progress and cooperation across the island these days. I just ask our speakers to stay here for a moment for an official photo, and then when that's taken care of, everybody, all the individuals will be available for questions from the media and the public. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Thank you.